Karate Champ was the highest grossing arcade game in 1985, making that number one. One-on-one fighting up close with big sprites and unique controls unlike no other gave this arcade game a lot of appeal for its time, and the game has aged very well. In this video, we'll talk about the different ports that have come out over the years, and we'll play on Arcade 1UP's version right after this. Flippity-flop. Now, as a kid growing up in the 1980s, I was a big fan of sports, sci-fi, martial arts, and of course, video games, especially like fighting games and sports games. When I first tried out Karate Champ, I was at a friend's house on the Commodore 64, and I thought it was one of the coolest games I had played to date. When Bloodsport came out, I had saw this in the theaters when I was 10 years old. It was an unforgettable time as a kid, and that scene had always reminded me that I always wanted to try out this arcade version of Karate Champ. But by the time I was old enough to get into the arcades on my own as a teenager in like the late 80s, Karate Champ machines were being replaced by a new phenomenon machine called Street Fighter. I remember as a kid, waiting online, against the bigger kids who had their quarters on the glass playing Street Fighter. Unbelievable, man. It was an awesome game for its time. It really shook the arcades. And I remember when I get my chance to play my 25 cents, I wouldn't stand a chance, man. I didn't have the bankroll to get any kind of practice, so I get my ass whipped. I had never got to play in the arcades Karate Champ the way it was meant to be played with two arcade sticks. The four-way arcade sticks combined to give you a total of 24 different moves to be used in the game. Now, as a kid, I had the NES version, which was okay, but it doesn't take long before you're bored playing against the same computer opponent. The animation and controls also aren't that good either, using the D-pad in conjunction with two NES buttons. The home game port was a poor experience. Several decades later, though, I was excited to get PS4's arcade port of Karate Champ, and I enjoyed it a lot more than the NES version. The main problem, though, with playing this game using analog controls is that the analog stick registers in more directions than the four-way joysticks that the game was meant to be played on. You wind up being inconsistent with your moves, the timing and accuracy are very bad, and the most annoying thing of all is that the touchpad on the PS4 controller is your pause button. So, as you play, as your thumb slides off the analog stick, you wind up pausing the game by accident and ruining your gameplay. It didn't take long before I had enough of this one. My obsession for Karate Champ had gone unfulfilled until a couple of years ago when I discovered that Arcade 1UP made a Burger Time cab which included Karate Champ, Bad Dudes, and Caveman Ninja. Burger Time was my favorite maze game of all time. Bad Dudes was one of my favorite childhood NES games. It was like my equivalent to Ninja Gaiden. Caveman Ninja didn't really matter to me. What did was those three games. Arcade 1UP released Burger Time Cab as a limited release of only 3,500 machines. So I basically discovered the cabinet once it was unavailable, which led me to having to overpay for the cabinet. And I was able to find a vendor that had one sealed in box. I mean, it was a lot of money, but sometimes you want what you want, and the cabinet was something I really wanted for my game room. Good thing, though, is the cabinet is beautiful, and the games look and play great. The only issue I have with the Arcade 1UP version is that the sound effects you hear from making contact with your opponent is missing. The PlayStation version had it, I feel like the sound effects came out sounding a little better for the home PS4 version. The controls work great on Arcade 1UP's version, which is the main point, and I've been very happy enjoying this cab for the last couple of years. And this game kind of progresses like a traditional fighting game. How you play a traditional fighting game. Like this game, Karate Champ, was like one of the pioneer one-on-one fighting games, where this is a point-based game, like 3 strikes, 3 full points, and you progress. Whereas most modern games now, it has a health meter. But like this is one of the first games, that had stages where you beat your opponent, you move on to the next stage, meaning a different graphical background. I mean, you're always going to face the same looking, red opponent, but the gameplay, the computer AI changes as you progress. Like as you move on and play, the different AI opponents, they have their own unique, fighting style. Like the first couple of stages, you could pretty much, strike and just evade. But as the game progresses, they'll block. They'll pull out like some quick combos on you. So you got to be careful. You know, what I try, my favorite strategy is to parry and then strike. You know, try and anticipate their attack, block, and then strike. Now, if you can get a counter strike, you'll wind up getting a full point. But most strikes are half points. So, but you know, to increase your chances of the judge giving you a full point, you want to like counter strike or block and strike quickly. But you know, the first match you can quickly get through, you know, by just striking. Eventually, I'd like to get through the entire game. I get close to the end, but you know, it gets really tough, man. You have one credit. That's it. One quarter, and you lose one match, and there's no continues. So you would go back to the beginning. You know, there's no like a modern fighting game where you can continue and keep going. You have one chance at this to make it to the end. And this game just has a great fighting system. You know, you press backwards to block like you would in most, you know, modern fighting games. You either press backwards to block or you know, press a button to block. But you know, this game really featured the template for a successful one-on-one fighting game. You know, up close and personal sprites and blocking and countering. You know, this Karate Champ on the Burger Time on this cab plays on a vertical screen, and I think it looks fine. I think, you know, obviously it was meant to be played on a 4:3 aspect ratio, but with this stretch, I don't think it alters my gameplay at all. So this is the third stage. Pretty cool with the bamboo in the background. You know, as the stages progress, you get some really cool backdrops, which is very impressive for its time because, I mean, look at the amount of colors that are on the stage at any screen. You know, I mean, this is before 16-bit, so it looks like you have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 different color shades on the screen. You know, it looks like 8-bit, you know, 8-bit graphical technology. It just looks gorgeous, you know, very impressive for its time. You know, this definitely led the way to Street Fighter. Capcom saw the success of this game, and they made Street Fighter, which came out, I think that was the next, you know, big fighting success one-on-one fighting game right after this. I think this came out in 85. You know, I've never played anyone, obviously, one-on-one. No one has ever come to my house, and I've never played an adult one-on-one in this game, so I don't even know how I could do. I play my daughter, but that doesn't really count because she's a kid. I want to, you know, one day I got to play somebody that knows this game. I'm on a lone mountain. But when you go on YouTube, you find so many people, you know, like-minded that play games. But, you know, in person, you don't find anyone, you know. You know, I'll find my subscribers that will comment on this video have played Karate Champ. But when I go out in the wild and talk to people, no one knows what the hell I'm talking about. That's what's cool about, you know, YouTube. You know, you can find people that share your same common interests. And that's why I keep uploading, you know, to keep that camaraderie going. You're not alone out there, guys. You know, I'm out there too. I'm the same age as you in your 40s, and we still like to, you know, we like to enjoy, you know, some video games, man. Life's too short. Enjoy the things you like to do. Don't ever put an age limit on anything because life is too short. Who is anyone to tell you you're too old to play video games? You're too old to, you know, go snowboarding. You're too old to try a skateboard. You're too old, you know, to throw a football around. Look at it, Tom Brady just retired. He was born in 77, playing professional sports with 20-year-olds. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't let anyone ever discourage you in doing the things that you like to do. Sorry for that little rant. Whatever, I'm keeping it in there to keep the gameplay interesting because, let's face it, who really watches people play video games unless there's some context involved? I find it funny, you know, I see all these channels. Sometimes it's mind-blowing. People just sit there in live streams and watch someone play a video game for an hour or two. Go play the video game yourself. Why you shouldn't be? I'm sorry, but you know, I know my friends. We do the tournaments are a different story. To watch like live video game tournaments with two people fighting each other live, that's a different story. But like watching a guy against remotes playing a video game by himself with a crowd of 100 people in a live stream, I mean, that's so bizarre. You should be playing the game yourself instead of watching someone playing a game. Life's too short, man. Time's so limited. We work all day. You're gonna come home and watch someone playing video games. You know what I mean? I guess maybe it's different if you're trying to kill time. You know, you're away from your games. You want, you know, I don't know. That's another stupid rant, I guess. I don't know. This board is really cool, man. It's one of my favorite boards, and I've never seen this stage because the NES version, I don't recall ever had this. Like you're on the stern, on the bow of the boat. Wait, no, stern. Yeah, stern of the boat. Damn, it's been a while since I've been out of the military. Yeah, the bow is the back, the stern is the front, right? Then you have aft. No, I'm forgetting the Navy. I wasn't in the Navy, but we had to memorize naval terms because, we were guests on naval ships because the Navy would take us, the Marines, to the action and then drop us off, kind of like a bus stop. So the Navy would take us to the action, drop us off, and then leave. They go on the Euro vacation and drop us off in the desert for 6 months, and then come back and pick us up. True story. So anyway, but hey. You need the Navy, though. They serve their purpose. They shuttle us around. And if there's ever a conflict against, a world power with another Navy, you need a Navy, right? But, yeah. This game is awesome, man. And, you don't need graphical prowess to be an awesome game. That's why I feel like this game has never aged, So, yeah, I put on a good run here. Forgive me if my phone's ringing. The hell? I thought I got rid of that phone. I don't even know where it is. Oh, it's behind. Yeah, I don't think you guys heard that phone thing. So yeah, moving on. This is stage 6, which is pretty cool because it's like right outside the dojo where you like walked in the beginning of the game. Pretty cool stage. I think I've made it. So I made it to the 8th stage, and I think there's 10 total. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if I'm correct. So I made it to stage 8, and I've acquired 35,000 points, which has been my high score. And here I am trying to break that high score. It's very hard. As you see, the game starts to pick up in speed, as you progress through the game. And like I said, there's no continues. So, it gets intense as you get, further in the game. As you can see, the action's, picking up here. Bam. Good. Oh, got me with a cheap leg sweep, man. God, that sucks right there, man. That jump kick was clutch from the red side. Now he got a full point for that one. Here I go down 2-0 here. It's gonna be tough for me to overcome this one with this guy's speed in the 6th round. But I acquire a point there. Can I make the comeback? Trying to make this interesting here. No! And there it blows. There it goes. There it blows. I couldn't break my score, but I will keep trying. And, ladies and gents, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far through my little video, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video, my little passion project. Stick around for more content. I should be making some more arcade style, arcade 1-up videos. I have a lot of content to make, and just, I get around to making it when I'm inspired to make content. And I got some more skateboard content too. Subscribe if you're interested in that kind of thing, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
Very good. But brick, not hit back.